So welcome back, and we have Gomas versus Lao, game 2. This is on Shattered Temple. We have Gomas in the bottom, at the bottom. He's the purple Terran. He is the Masters Protoss from Team Infused, and this is the semi-final of the UK and Ireland Team Thermaltake Binary Beast Cup. And Lao on the right hand side is the blue Terran. He's a Grandmaster Terran, also from Team Infused, so they're representing strong in this tournament particularly. And it was a very intense game we saw on game 1. I get the feeling this is going to be a slightly shorter game, mainly because of the close positioning. Although, I mean, Lao did do a very tech-heavy build in the last game. Gomas shut it down pretty nicely though with the expansion and got far ahead, but a couple of misplaced attacks meant that he lost his lead, but he did claw back in it with some great multitasking. But eventually Lao just had such a massive tank army against what was essentially just Marines and Marauders, which, I mean, especially when you stim them and they're clumped together as much as they do, they melt to the tank fire. Anyway, they're both doing slightly similar things, but Gomas's gas was about 10 seconds ahead of Lao's, but Lao's scout was slightly ahead of Gomas's, so there's not too much weird stuff going on here. Lao building the supply depot on the side again because he did see the Reaper opening from Gomas last time. Curious to see if he'll do it again. He does have slightly more gas, so it might be interesting to see what they do. And yeah, this is the first semi-final. I'm not sure the other semi-final starts between Bling and I don't know. I know the other game finished, but I forgot who won. Anyway, they're both going for the factory, so no Reaper openings quite yet. Both getting their second gas at relative the same time. Bunker going down for Lao. He's slightly more afraid of Gomas, or maybe he's going for something slightly more techy and just wants to be safe. But yeah. Interesting difference between these two players is Gomas's supply depots go to block Blue Flame Hellions, whereas Lao's are just there to scout drops and Banshees. So a nice little interesting difference they do in what is a very, very mirror matchup. Okay, here's the difference. Lao is building a Hellion. Is he gonna... I wouldn't be too surprised if he unbunkered these and did like a Hellion 3 Marine poke. No, he's just going for the Hellion Scout. Gomas hasn't quite positioned his Marines too effectively against the Hellion while he's swapping over to it. Oh! Hellion gets away with 12 health. That was pretty close, but at least he found out the Marine count. Anyway, this time it's Gomas's time to go for the Banshee tech. Although, I mean, the interesting difference was Lao started Cloak before he built the Banshee, but Gomas just went straight for Banshee, and Lao is going for Banshee as well. But Gomas is going for Stim. Lao hasn't started Stim. He's going for a Tech Club again. So Lao is going for Banshee tank. Gomas is going for Banshee Stimmed Bio, which is interesting. Lao has scouted what Gomas is doing. He saw that the barracks tech lab was going, so he knows it's STEM. So I'm sure he's quite happy to continue with his factory tech, and obviously he gets a siege tank, and he's going for Cloak as well with the engineering bay. But he's going for Cloak. Gomas is going for the Raven, so the Cloak is going to be pretty heavily denied. Anyway, here comes the first Banshee harass from the two of them. Lao sees it and brings his Marines over, but is he going to get one? He's going for the SCV. There you go, he finally gets two SCVs go down to the initial harass, whereas on the other side, just one SCV so far for Lao. But, I mean, that was pretty crucial seeing the command center now. Two Marines going down as well. Lao is very proficient at this Banshee micro, staying out Marine Reg. Oh, as I say that, he goes down to 26 health on his Banshee. Needs to be super careful, and here comes the Raven just as Cloak finishes. What is... He uses an auto turret and catches the Banshee. Pretty good timing by that Raven, I'd have to say. So, I'd say it was 3 kills apiece on SCVs, but Lao killed 2 Marines as well. But Lao got Cloak, which has been absolutely shut down because of the Raven. Well, it's not been absolutely shut down, but Lao seems to think, oh, as he's not building anymore. Sorry, he's building a Banshee, never mind. Anyway, looking at the unit count, it's 29 for Gomas, 26 for Lao. Gomas' command center did start earlier as well, so we got a slight economic advantage for Gomas. And he is 10 supply ahead as well. Dropship for Gomas, as well as combat shield. Sorry, not dropship. Oh, little Banshee poking back up here. Is he going to put down an auto turret? It's pretty questionable. Oh, here's the stim. The Raven can see the Banshee though, and the Banshee's going to be so close. Is he? Oh, a nice pick off by there. You've got to be careful with stim, but the medevacs did just start coming out, so he's not too worried about stimming a lot right now. And Gomas is, you know, I'd have to say, even if he does lose, I mean, he is 1-0 down, but he is very, very proficient at dealing with the Banshee harass. And he just comes across another Banshee here. It's a bit late to go after it now, I'm afraid, Gomas. Banshee decided to come straight in here. It needs to do some damage. I mean, he's lost 2 already. He's only killed 3 SCVs. And it's accidentally going in range of the missile turret. Now, he does kill 3 SCVs, but the stimmed Marines just taking that out. And third Banshee goes down for... That was 2 Marines, so he's killed... Sorry, 2 SCVs, so he's killed 5 SCVs altogether for 2 Banshees. Whereas Gomas hasn't lost... Maybe Gomas did lose a Banshee. I might have missed that. No, he still has it, I just can't see it. I can hear it. Ah. Oh! Sensor tower does just go down. Those aren't cheap. Those are 125 gas. That's as much as a siege tank, you know? And wow, this Viking Raven combination are doing a big amount of damage on the Banshee, but not quite enough. And these Marines are going to catch the Raven, are they? Oh, 40 energy. I mean 40 health, sorry. That was a little bit close for comfort for that Raven. It's also on slightly full health. I mean 150 energy, not health. Anyway, when all said and done, they're pretty equal on Harvester's count. The command center's finished about the same time, but we're starting to see the tech patterns diverse again. Now going for the Infernal Pre-Igniter for his Hellions. Where Gomas is going for the Marine, and he's building 2 barracks, and he's getting the Marine upgrades, so he's staying with the bio. He's pretty confident in it. The difference obviously this time is they're so close to each other, and I don't think anyone's going to plan on taking a third. So Gomas is going to go for ground superiority, but Lao is going for the air superiority. But the problem with that is obviously this Raven has enough for 2 point defense drones, and Vikings are affected by point defense drones, so it works a good number on them. I say no one's going to take a third. Lao wants to take a third. Who am I to tell him otherwise? He's Terran. He can make it into an unkillable planetary fortress. 2 Hellions coming around the side here. They do have... No, they are about to have Infernal Pre-Igniter, but Gomas doesn't know that yet. He is about to though, because he's sending some Marines to cut them off. He's going to find out pretty shortly. Oh no, Lao is just checking for the third. and some Vikings came over. They didn't kill anything. I think they were just looking for a sneak kill on this Banshee over here. I mean, if he did come up and have a look, I'm pretty sure he could pick off the Banshee, which would be absolutely huge, because Banshees cost 200 gas. It's a lot of gas. This little sensor tower was bad. Many Marines in production for Gomas. This is pretty interesting. I wonder if he's planning on being aggressive anytime soon, or just containing. But I mean, Lau is the one that's going for the third. He's gonna... Oh, this is interesting. Gomas killing the rocks for the third. He's gonna have a pretty big shock if he goes up there. But I think, yeah, Lau's gonna kill the rocks first. Is he gonna just send some tanks down there? We'll have to see. Oh, Vikings coming over here, picking that off, and Lau is getting out of there. Command center is not moving, although there's only 4 Marines, and Lau has the air advantage, so no Vikings are around to come help pick this off. Nice little double fronts going on here. Okay, Lau's getting ready to move out, unsieging the tanks. Gomas scans just as they unseed. The tanks are sitting there doing, I wasn't going to go anywhere. What are you talking about? I was just chilling. Interesting enough, despite all that's happened, I mean, it hasn't been too one-sided. Gomas is 50 supply ahead of Lau, but I mean, it's very much in Marines, so they melt. Well, I wouldn't say they melt, but if you look at this tank position, any sort of aggression here would definitely help Lau. And Gomas can't drop with them either, because Lau has the air superiority, because he went for the Vikings. So any medevacs are guaranteed to die. Interestingly enough. And Lau being pretty smart with his Hellions, he does not want to be surprised about a ninja third, really. But where is Lau going to take his third? He's not building a command center up here. His command center is flying here. I really wish he'd turn it into an orbital command, and at least use the mules or scans, or just save the energy. But anyway, I'd say Lau is contained, which is interesting because he has the air advantage, you know. In Siege Tank Viking, the air advantage means you can shoot further than your opponent. And this Raven is dancing with death right now. I'd be interested to see...
Add-on complete.
No, he doesn't quite see them. A drop there, finally taking out those Hellions that are going back up. I'm not quite sure what this little contingent's going to go do, but... Curious little position. Standoff going on here. You know, you'd think Lau would be slightly more aggressive, considering he has the sight of the Vikings, and he has a much higher Viking count than his opponent, who has no Vikings. So his siege tanks can see further. So if he's careful about it, you know, he should be able to punish Gomas for going so marine heavy. But we'll have to see. There is a Ghost Academy. They keep scanning each other. Oh, here we go. Going straight for the Raven. Very close. 32 health. That is 2 hits from a Viking. I think Lau's gonna try and snipe it. It's a pretty big deal if he does. Anyway, this is what I'm talking about. This is Lau using his air advantage to try and creep up on Gomas, and as long as he moves like